So I think I've discovered my new crack, replying to MichaelBTheGameGenie's Top 3 Tuesdays. And this week, he has another category that I just simply could not resist: Top 3 Comic Book Games. Now, I've been into comic books for as long as I can remember. In fact, I remember going down to the local 7-Eleven when I was 4 years old with my mom, and she would sometimes give me the choice between getting candy or a comic book, and a lot of the time I would pick a comic book. Even though I really couldn't read them, I just liked looking at the artwork, and I was just attracted to the Incredible Hulk, Batman, and my all-time favorite, Spider-Man. So I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, I'm a big fan of Venom, and I am a huge fan of Carnage. So when Maximum Carnage came out on the Super Nintendo, I got it on its release date, despite that it had that LJN rainbow on there. Let's take a look. Maximum Carnage is a video game adaptation of the 1993 14-issue crossover comic series of the same name. You play as Spider-Man and later on Venom against Cletus Cassidy, also known as Carnage, and his entourage of nefarious baddies. The game is basically a generic beat-em-up, ripping off the style of the genre's archetype Final Fight. You face off against a myriad of pathetic thugs who can surprisingly administer Spidey and Venom with a severe ass-whooping. Let's be honest here, if either our friendly neighborhood webhead or Venom, or even just plain old Eddie Brock for that matter, bitch-slapped one of these common goons, they would need to consult a dentist and a plastic surgeon. How stupid is it that Spidey and Venom can get beaten down by chicks whipping their hair, or tiny bespectacled bald men attacking with umbrellas? Yeah, it's really dumb, but I still dig it. The main attraction to Maximum Carnage is the fact that it follows the story so well, and even replicates actual pages from the comic itself. All of the characters from the story are present here, allowing you to call on allies to assist you in taking down the evil red and black symbiote. And trust me, you'll need all the help you can get, because this game is brutal. Maximum Carnage can get a bit monotonous, having to fight against the same bosses over and over again, with their relentless barrage of double-teamed attacks pushing you over the edge of teeth-grinding frustration. But there are plenty of hidden lives and continues to help along the way, which adds a bit of an extra element to what would otherwise be an average brawler. But the graphics are nice, and the soundtrack is pretty cool, with the one-hit wonder band Green Jello, Green Jelly, yeah, that's metal, offering some buzzsaw tunes. Having the choice between using two of my all-time favorite characters in the Marvel Universe is a huge draw for me to this one, and despite its difficulty and that grotesque rainbow of inferiority, Maximum Carnage is a hell of a good time. So the next game on my list is actually based off of a TV show. In fact, it is one of my all-time favorite cartoons: The Adventures of Batman and Robin. As a teenager, I had pretty much outgrown watching cartoons, except for the X-Men on Saturday mornings, and probably my favorite show after school, Batman the Animated Series. So when Konami released a game under the new rebranded name of The Adventures of Batman and Robin, I jumped all over it. The graphics are simply amazing. Konami nailed the aesthetic of the show, and it feels as if you're playing a cartoon. Even the music is straight from the TV series. Each stage is an episode where you will face off against one of Batman's notorious foes, such as the Penguin, Scarecrow, and naturally, the Joker. Each of the 8 stages is different unto itself and offers a variety of gameplay. You ride a roller coaster while fighting against the Joker, you have to locate hostages in a museum, and there's even a spy hunter driving stage that is absolute bullshit. Yeah, fuck that stage. You even have to board a blimp in order to save Gotham from Scarecrow's poisonous nerve gas. And of course, this game is extremely tough. Normal mode offers a password with limited continues, but typical of 16-bit era Konami, the game can only be finished on hard mode. You know how Konami likes to do things. Always the hard way! But I really love how faithful this game is to the animated series. My favorite episode is where the Riddler traps Batman in the maze of the Minotaur, where the Caped Crusader has to solve a number of puzzles to escape. This is also my favorite stage in the game, where the same cryptic puzzles from the show need to be solved here. Now that's awesome. The Adventures of Batman and Robin is a fantastic game, albeit frustrating at times, and is one of the best looking games on the Super Nintendo, period.
So my final game on the list is a really good one. I like it a lot, but one of the main reasons I like it is because it finally did the franchise some justice. So my all-time favorite anime, my all-time favorite manga, Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage.
I fell absolutely head over heels in love with Fist of the North Star 22 years ago. Set in a desolate post-apocalyptic world, the protagonist, Kenshiro, sets off on a quest to rescue his beloved Yuria. Ken is a master of Hokuto Shinken, the ability to strike certain pressure points causing foes to explode. The sheer bloody violence is what attracted me to the anime, and then the manga, and Ken's Rage on the PS3 follows the story so closely, it is the definitive Fist of the North Star game by a mile. The game is a beat-em-up, kinda in the same vein as God of War. You have numerous moves, combos, and attacks at your disposal, with the ability to power up and learn even more techniques which can be unlocked on a grid system similar to the one utilized in Final Fantasy X. The stages are large and immersive, filled with hundreds of thugs just waiting to become meat piñatas. The bosses, stages, and story are straight out of the manga, and follows it so closely that I was instantly hooked on this one. For someone who knows the story and characters as well as I do, this game is simply a dream come true, and there is so much replay value. You have legend modes for not only Ken, but also for his brothers Toki and Rao, and then there's even more with Dream Mode, where you can play as Ken's adversaries such as Bowser and Ken's cowardly brother Jaggy. Seeing these characters come to life in full 3D is simply amazing, and tearing through the many modes on this one is addictive. I've put damn near 100 hours into this bad boy. When it comes to martial arts, you'd be hard pressed to find a narrative more brutal than Fists of the North Star, and you'd be even more hard pressed to find a bigger badass than Kenshiro.
You are already dead.
So there you go, those are my top 3 favorite comic book games. Now as always, I want to know, what are your 3 favorites? Go ahead, let me know in the comments below. If you want to go ahead and leave a link to a video response, feel free to do that as well. I love watching those videos, as I'm sure a lot of you like to do that as well. And I love reading your responses, so everyone has a different opinion, so it's really fun to see what other people think about this topic. So thanks a lot once again to MichaelBTheGameGenie for a really fun topic. But seriously, man, how about some duds for the next couple of weeks so I can get some work done on my videos? Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I'll catch you all later.